Have you ever heard of a puzzle so difficult that even its creator couldn't solve it? This isn't a riddle from a fantasy book. It's the very real story of the D'Agapeyeff Cipher, a code that has stumped the world's best minds for over 80 years. Welcome back to Bizarre Bureau, where today we're diving into one of the most baffling unsolved mysteries in the history of cryptography. The year is 1939. The world is on the brink of war, and secrets are everything. In London, a Russian-born British cartographer and cryptographer named Alexander D'Agapeyeff publishes his first book, Codes and Ciphers. It was an elementary introduction to the world of secret messages, designed for beginners and young enthusiasts. The book covered everything from simple substitution ciphers to more complex systems. It was a well-regarded, straightforward guide. But hidden in the very first edition, on the final page, was a challenge. A block of jumbled numbers, a cipher with no key, no context, and just a simple, taunting invitation to crack it. This wasn't just another practice problem. This was different. This was what would come to be known as the D'Agapeyeff Cipher. The cipher itself is a string of 487 digits, grouped into pairs. It looks like this: 756282859162916481648, and so on. At first glance, it might not seem like much. Readers and amateur codebreakers likely saw it as the ultimate final exam for the book. They applied the techniques D'Agapeyeff had just taught them: frequency analysis, pattern recognition, all the standard tools of the trade. But nothing worked. The cipher resisted every attempt. Days turned into weeks, weeks into months, and still, the jumble of numbers held its secret tight. The puzzle was far more complex than anything else in the elementary book. It was like finding a cryptic message from an alien civilization at the end of a children's ABC book. It just didn't fit. As the years went by, the cipher's reputation grew. It became a legend in the cryptographic community. Professional analysts from intelligence agencies, brilliant mathematicians, and dedicated hobbyists all tried their luck. They threw powerful computers and sophisticated algorithms at it, but the cipher remained stubbornly silent. It showed none of the typical weaknesses of classical ciphers. The frequency of the numbers was almost perfectly flat, meaning no single digit or pair appeared significantly more often than others. This suggests a very robust encryption method, likely a polyalphabetic cipher, where the rules of substitution change as you go along. Think of it like the infamous Enigma machine, but without the machine itself to figure out. The problem is, to crack a polyalphabetic cipher, you usually need to know the length of the keyword used to encrypt it. And with the D'Agapeyeff cipher, nobody has a clue. The key length could be anything. Here's where the story takes a truly bizarre turn. After the first edition of Codes and Ciphers was published, something strange happened. Or rather, something didn't happen. In all subsequent editions of the book, the challenge cipher was gone, vanished, without a word of explanation. It was simply removed, leaving only the owners of the rare first edition with a copy of the puzzle. This only deepened the mystery. Why remove it? Was it a mistake? Was it solved and the solution kept secret? The truth, as it turned out, was far more embarrassing and human. Years later, when approached by fellow cryptographers eager to discuss the puzzle, Alexander D'Agapeyeff made a stunning admission. He couldn't remember how he did it. He had completely forgotten the method and the key he used to create the cipher. Imagine that. Creating a lock so complex that you yourself forget the combination. He claimed he created it a challenge, likely using a complex, multi-step process. Perhaps he used the book as a one-time pad or a convoluted keyword system based on a personal memory. Whatever it was, the secret was lost forever, locked inside the mind of the one person who knew it. D'Agapeyeff passed away in 1955, taking any chance of a simple solution with him to the grave. So, where does that leave us? With a cryptographic ghost. A message with no sender and no key. The community is split on what to do with it. Some believe that D'Agapeyeff made a mistake while encrypting the message. He was, by his own admission, an amateur cryptographer when he wrote the book. It's entirely possible that he botched the encryption process, creating a garbled mess of numbers that isn't a cipher at all, but just random noise. If that's the case, then there's no message to find. Trying to solve it would be like trying to find a meaningful sentence in a bowl of alphabet soup. It's an exercise in futility. This theory is supported by the fact that D'Agapeyeff removed it from later editions. Perhaps he realized his error and, out of embarrassment, decided to erase it from his legacy. But others aren't so sure. They hold on to the hope that the cipher is real and solvable. They argue that D'Agapeyeff was a cartographer, a man of precision and detail. It seems unlikely he would make such a fundamental error. These believers continue to work, proposing new theories and methods. One popular theory is that it uses a fractionating cipher, where letters are first converted into numbers and then shuffled around in a complex grid. Others suspect it might be a double encryption, where a message was enciphered once, and then the result was enciphered again with a different system. This would make it exponentially harder to crack. The search for the plain text the original message continues. What could it say? Some speculate it's a simple message, like, "Congratulations, you have solved the cipher," or perhaps a quote from a book. Others wonder if it contains a more personal secret, something D'Agapeyeff wanted to hide in plain sight. The D'Agapeyeff Cipher stands as a unique monument in the world of unsolved codes, alongside giants like the Voynich manuscript or the crypto sculpture at CIA headquarters. But it's different. It's not an ancient artifact or a multi-million-dollar installation. It's a puzzle from a beginner's book, created by a man who then forgot the answer. It is a testament to the fallibility of human memory and a source of infinite frustration and fascination for code breakers. It represents the ultimate challenge, a lock where the key was not just lost, but completely forgotten by its maker. Maybe D'Agapeyeff made a mistake, and we're all chasing a ghost. Or maybe, just maybe, he created a perfect accidental masterpiece of encryption, and the secret is still out there, waiting for a mind brilliant enough to see the pattern that everyone else has missed for nearly a century. The numbers remain silent, a cryptographic puzzle box with no key, challenging us from beyond the grave. What do you think? Is the D'Agapeyeff cipher a solvable message, or just the result of a long-forgotten mistake? Let me know your theories down in the comments. Thank you for joining me at the Bizarre Bureau for another journey into the unknown. If you enjoyed this mystery, don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more deep dives into the world's most baffling puzzles. Until next time, stay curious.